Alright, everyone. It is the final round of Swiss, and that can only mean one thing. The win-and-in round. These gentlemen are 3-1. 4-1 will surely make the top 8. 3-2 has no chance whatsoever. I don't think 3-1-1 necessarily has a chance, although I could do the math and figure that out. But it doesn't matter because these gentlemen are playing. On your right, please ignore the titles at the top until I adjust them. On your right, the man, the myth, the legend, FNM stream regular, Adam Vickers. Surely you heard him in the room earlier tonight. He is, he's playing the Magic cards. He is playing Bant Midrange. It's a bunch of good cards. He's playing Azorius Charms, Snapcaster Maid Syncopates, and then all the good green-white creatures. Adam Vickers loves his Restoration Angels, so he's surely going to find a way of putting those in there. He's playing against Mitch Estep, who is playing, I just discussed with him, Esper tokens. Mitch used to play the shop a lot. He has recently drifted over to another regional shop, but it's good to see him back. Good to see a couple guys make their way back to the store. So he's playing Esper tokens. So we saw Brett Rose play that in round 1. So we'll see Mitch's take on it here.
Is this our first repeat deck of the evening?
Yes.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, well, to be fair, we've had a lot of homebrews on so far. Looking at we'll do a brief recap here of the tournament once I get, I'm losing my mind, Esper tokens versus Bant Midrange. Too much going on, a lot of moving parts here, so looks like we're good to go. Adam, whenever you're ready. So that's my low-tech way of indicating to them that we are ready to go. We'll start the clock.
The technology of yelling. It looks like he's drawn scissors versus rock. Rock beats scissors, as we are all aware.
That's how the game works, and if you would like to win your own playset of those cards, it's very simple. We give away a playset every week. You can be just like...
A full crew in here.
We do. Are you taking off, Zach?
I dropped. I was going to come say hello. I didn't know if you...
Well, under any other circumstances, absolutely, I would have you in here. I'm just not sure we have
it's no big
room.
deal. I knew you were...
Are you sticking around?
For a few minutes. I'm at least going to tinker. I'm always coming up with new deck ideas, so I'm...
Well, make sure you let me know before you take off there, Al.
I will.
So.
I was just seeing if you needed another.
Well, normally I do. The last couple of weeks we need it, but this week we got a full crew. So back to the.
So you're just gonna talk about all the Adam Vickers. I mean, fantastic plays.
Well, we are. I will say this: we will have to shut that door because they can hear us a little bit. So, but I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you before you go. It's funny how that works.
What is in play here? Is that a...
It's he led with a Temple Garden and an Arbor Elf, and then followed up with a Hinterland Harbor, and the Arbor Elf got in for one. He's going to cycle his Azorius Charm. I don't know how I feel about Azorius Charm.
I also don't know how I feel about Azorius Charm.
Yeah, most of the time people just cycle it, and I don't really know why.
I think the lifelink seems pretty good.
Yeah, most of the time, I've never seen. What's the third ability do?
It exiles a creature with power 5 or greater, which seems
that's
very, very, very good.
So Mitchell cycling his actual think twice. Azorius Charm is just think once, I think. So, did Mitch miss his land drop? No, he didn't. He's not doing much over here, but again, these token decks have an ability to just come out of nowhere. See him lay a Moorland Haunt.
The Bant is favored in the chat.
The chat likes Bant. And when we say the chat likes Bant, one person commented about it. So we see Midnight Hunting come down. Looks like it's going to be Syncopate. Nope, just Negate. But, so, what has Mitch got going in terms of business? He's got a full art Zendikar, John Avon Zendikar Plains coming into play. See that? I approve of that. Went with Evolving Wilds. Not done by John Avon. Not full art. So we see the front half of a Lingering Souls. Promo Lingering Souls at that. What do you? That's completely non-relevant to the game, but how do you feel? Promo Lingering Souls or original art Lingering Souls?
I'm usually very pro the one that comes in the booster pack.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I'm interested
That's an Ian Nolte style.
Well, actually, I have to agree with him in my token stack.
As much as it pains you to agree with Ian.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna get lumped in with this jackass. But, as we see, oh man, this Wolfear Silverheart. I know it was the format definer for Innistrad block, but I sometimes forget that that card exists, and every time I see it, it's just amazing. It's a 12 power creature, if you think about it, and 4 of the power has haste.
Yeah.
Azorius Charm would be pretty good against him.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
So I think that's probably leading a lot of people to put it in their decks.
So we see an almost drawn, but technically not drawn, Entreat the Angels. 4-2. First when he flipped it there, I wasn't sure he had the mana to cast it, but he does have the Glacial Fortress and the Plains there. So that will at least be able to trade with the Silverheart. Here's a Thragtusk I see. Is that also a Restoration Angel? So he's going to attack whatever block Mitch offers up. He's going to blink his Silverheart, right?
I mean, you would think that would be the optimal play, but
he is going with the other route. He is going to take out the Arbor Elf and chump the Silverheart. See what that gets him. I like him. Now the toughest decision that he'll make all night: which angel art on the token do you keep? And there's Thragtusk.
Say I'm a fan of the Avacyn one, so
I don't know the difference. Thragtusk is a heck of a Magic card. I love how both the control decks and the mid-range and aggro decks are all playing the same card.
yeah.
I am very guilty of saying the phrase, that shouldn't be a Magic card. That's something I say a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't think Thragtusk should be a Magic card.
I'd have to agree with you on that one. It seems to, basically, it's defining the standard right now, so.
Yeah, I just, like, for example, Yin, who's playing tonight, I think he's in another winning in, but, he plays a Jund control deck, and he plays 4 Thragtusks. And then, like, he was playing, at the Star City top 8, he was playing against, mid-range decks that were, and the aggro decks that are also playing Thragtusk. I mean, that's just, the card is too good if every archetype of deck is playing it. I'm playing green-white human, splashing for Thragtusk.
Yeah.
I'm playing red deck win, splashing for Thragtusk.
Yeah, that's basically where most green deck lists start these days, right? 4 Thragtusk, and then you just build the rest of the deck around it.
Yeah. See, Soren come down, looks like it's going to get negated, or at least Snapcaster negated. Ooh, Dissipate on the negate. Would you have dissipated the Snapcaster?
I think that might have been a good play.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong, I'm just curious.
I think at this point he's got to be concerned about the board.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe he likes the fact now that negate's been removed, so.
He doesn't have to worry about it in the future.
Is he hellbent? Is Mitch out of cards?
Yeah, it appears to be.
He hasn't cast the back half of his Lingering Souls yet, though, right?
Right.
So serving in with the... He's just going to let Soren die. Probably a good play there. Soren, 4 mana. All your creatures get +1/+0. Gain 7 life is basically what that read for.
Yeah.
That's one thing about Planeswalkers that I think most people forget about, is that the fact that all damage they absorb is life that you've gained, basically. That's pretty good. It's pretty good and off the top. I think I'd make a dude here, wouldn't you?
Looks like what he's doing.
Yeah, the Death Touch.
No,
Or
double
no,
emblem.
Yeah.
He also has double emblem. That's very nice.
Oh, but now it is No, that was Selesnya Charm that does the remove the creature from the game. What's the other thing that Azorius Charm does?
Isn't it?
Oh, it puts one on top of the line. An attacking creature on top of the line.
Attacking or blocking, I believe. Yeah.
That's what we normally say. That seems fine. And we see more than Hunt activation. I really like, that's something that I've talked with Brandon Gibbs, who was playing his Blue-White Humans last round. That's something that he doesn't have it in his deck. He's not playing Moreland Haunt, and I think that's probably a mistake there, because it gives you a lot of reach. Yes, you don't have awesome equipment to jam on it, but still, it's a 1/1 dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not really sure what Brandon said. I was just trying to think of something. I was like, nah, it just doesn't make sense.
Well, he's top forward last week, so he clearly knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So, we see another Detention Sphere taking out the Wolfear Silverheart. And we see the back half of the Lingering Souls. So Mitch is putting up a fight. Every Souls token that he comes up with is 3 power, so he can trade with the Thragtusk. We see... What is that? Is that one of the tokens from Star City?
Yeah, that's a Star City Spirit token.
Mm-hmm. Seems good. As I quickly go and adjust the autofocus feature on my camera, which I always do, but then when my computer crashes, I forgot to go back and do it again. We see an O-ring on... Isn't there a Silver Heart under each of those?
I think he
spheres?
sphered both Silver Hearts.
So, now that it's paired, the token will not drop it out. So, Mitch up against it here. He does have another Lingering Souls in the yard, but he's staring down 9 power of Thragtusk and 8 power of Silverheart. But he has been very aggressive on his attacks. I think he may be recognizing that the longer the game goes, the less likely he is to win. So he's just trying to get damage in whenever he can. So serving in with everything here. I'm assuming we're going to jump out both of the giant dudes. Well, we're going to think about it first. I think you drew another thing twice. Is that what it looked like to you?
Yeah. Let's see.
So, yeah, we see both of the Lingering Souls tokens jump out the paired fatties. Snapcaster gets in. And we're going to take a quick look at Mitch's graveyard to see what kind of flashback business he has. I see an Armada Worm in his hand. And I see a Centaur Healer coming down. Sonim's deck is basically just it's a mid-range deck, but there's some control elements in there with the counter spells. But it's just a lot of good cards.
Yeah.
I mean, main deck Centaur Healers, which he told me he's playing because he does not have Geist and Trap. Pretty brutal main deck card against most of the aggro decks in the format. So Mitch draws another land. He does have 2 Think Twices in his graveyard, so he can dig a little bit. Can dig some. That's what he's doing. Think twice. What did he draw? The way he held it there, I thought it was a miracle, but the way he did cast it indicated that it was not a miracle. So he could have, he has 5 lands untapped. That would have been 3 Angels, which would have been, 18 power dudes? Because he has 2 emblems, correct?
Yep.
Seems good.
Yeah, they don't call it a miracle for anything, I guess.
Yeah. Again to indicate, miracle should not be a mechanic. It shouldn't. It really shouldn't. Like, it shouldn't reward. Like, you shouldn't. You shouldn't be able to do that.
I mean, it's a mechanic I guess they've worked on for a long time, and this is as good as they got it. So I'd hate to see what it looked like, all the other times they were trying to make it work.
That is a good point. All the mechanics always start out with... what was interesting is I believe Tiago Chan's invitational card, the card that he got to design for winning the very last invitational that they ran, was Snapcaster Mage. Yeah. That's what it ended up being. And in my opinion, Snapcaster Mage is probably a little bit too good. That was what they ended up with. The card that he submitted was a land that you could sacrifice to counter target spell.
Yeah,
I think you could cycle it to counter a spell.
No, it was that two and two blue, I think.
It was whatever exact detail it was. The crux of it was that it was a land slot that you could use as counter magic.
Yeah.
So instead, you got a creature that's also got a counter spell manually attached to it.
Oh man.
So, quick reset here for those of you just joining us. We are at Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston, West Virginia. You are watching Round 5, the win and in round, the Friday Night Magic Standard Tournament. This is the final round of Swiss before the top 8. You are watching Mitchell Estep on the left playing an Esper Token's deck. He is down a game to Adam Vickers playing Bant Midrange. Both of these gentlemen are 3-1. The winner will advance to the top 8. The loser likely will not. So, a lot on the line here. We did have 35 people come out tonight. 32 are still in the event. 3 people headed home early. Get a nice night's sleep in a warm bed before tomorrow's W game. TCU. That's a good trivia question for you, Ian Nolte. You are not necessarily sports affiliated, or at least not college football affiliated. What does TCU stand for? Someone will answer in the chat. Do not look at the chat.
TCU.
Yep. Let's start with the U.
Let's get that out of the way. Let's go backwards. I bet it's not college university. So.
Transylvania College University.
I have no idea. I cannot think of it.
If you had to guess what the T stood for, using context clues of collegiate football.
I have no idea.
Tech. You got there. Texas. The U is obviously university. What is the C?
Texas.
It's not Texas. It starts with a C.
Texas.
You're a school teacher. Go.
I don't know.
It's a Christian.
Yeah,
Texas Christian University. Which is ironic because Texas Christian University, most notably known for having a giant pay-for-play scandal, which resulted in the only NCAA death penalty in the history of college football.
They murdered someone?
Well, it's not murder if it's a death penalty. But no, they shut the entire football program down for a year because there was so much just rampant recruiting violations. They're just paying anyone, like they're just giving people cars, and like the recruits were just like, there's a ESPN. Do you ever watch any of those? I know ESPN 30 for 30.
Oh, I do like those.
Those are very well put together.
Yeah.
There's one called Pony Excess because TCU is the. Were they at one point what are they? TCU Mustangs or Stallions?
I think it's Mustangs.
It used to be. Oh, that's SMU. I'm sorry. No, I'm completely. It's not TCU. Didn't get that was SMU. That's Southern Methodist. Never mind. TCU's fine.
Sorry, TCU. We apologize for dragging your name through the dirt.
They're the
TCU, of course, an outstanding university, was always used
their
properly.
Mascot, I could ask. Here's a trivia question we could have. I could ask you what the TCU mascot is, and you could spend the next 100 years of your life guessing you would get there because the mascot is the horned frogs.
The horned frog.
But Southern Methodist University, they were the ones that had there's an ESPN. They're called the Pony Express, and there's an ESPN 30 for 30 with them where they talk about it, and it was just like when they recruited Eric Dickerson, who went on to the NFL, like he just the news cameras would go to like his door to like figure out like who are you going to sign with or whatever, and he'd just like walk out to his brand new Camaro, just get in, just drive away, like they weren't hiding it very well at all. It's like, and then eventually someone was like, you can't, like you can't do that, like we're going to punish you for it. And they shut them down, and they've never been relevant since.
No.
It's very, very interesting. It's very similar, in fact, to remember when Marshall had the plane crash?
Mm-hmm.
For those of you not familiar with the geography, if you've seen We Are Marshall, the movie, Marshall University is just 45 minutes down the road. That's where Ian, you live in Huntington, where Marshall is. But I mean, it was the same kind of thing. Like, they had that plane crash, killed the entire football team in the late 70s. But then in the 90s, they were back to like national title contender in 1AA. I don't know why we've digressed into college football talk, but
I know we gained
gained some
watchers.
viewers.
Yeah.
That's likely because someone else has quit streaming on some other channel. But for those of you just joining us,
It's outraged TCU fans defending that.
We heard on Twitter that you were lumping us in with SMU. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, TCU. Maybe we can get out there and take some pictures. I'm going to take some pictures, put up on the website. Website? What are we talking about? Facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic. That's where you need to go, ladies and gentlemen, to get information about the stream, to contact us. I post a lot of content there. I'd like to think it's relevant. I post links to some interesting videos and articles and general Magic news. More than anything, we would love to hear your feedback. I know when I say that, it's mostly going to fall on deaf ears because it's not the kind of thing people watch streams for. They don't want to have to go do something. But if you've watched before,
Wait for the part where you give us our homework.
or if you are watching, one thing you could do, why don't you go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic. Everything is ZachSellsMagic. And let us know what you think. What do you like about the stream? What don't you like about the stream? What could we improve? What should we leave alone because it's already awesome?
Well, it looks like
You should. I saw you on your phone. Were you also going to Facebook
I was.
to make a post?
I wanted to see if I had
The
any.
part where that Ian guy talked about Texas Christian was pretty awesome. From
Ian's awesome. The more Ian. Oh, our game has started while I was not paying attention.
Adam mulled to at least 6. Did he go to 5 or did he stay at 6?
he stayed at 6.
Okay, so
He played a tap land
Yep.
versus his opponent, who is at a tapped mana.
he crapped out in Evolving Wilds and then cracked it for Basic Plains. I'll tell you something about our two competitors here in this round. Very diligent shufflers.
I love a good shuffle.
This is another thing that new Magic players don't know how to do is the reason you drew all your land in a row is because you didn't shuffle your deck. Get some questions about in the chat about were there any epic experiment decks tonight? We have one in the field. It is not the standard brew. It is not a Travis Wu build. It's more of a burn deck. He did not do nearly as well this week as he did last week. He is 2-2 going into the last round. We did not get a chance to have him on camera, unfortunately. That being Jordan Pecchio, who's piloting that deck. I do like Epic Experiment as a card.
Yeah.
Have you thought about playing that in your EDH deck?
No, I had not.
Maelstrom Wanderer?
Mm-hmm.
Did I give you that copy of Blatant Thievery?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I didn't. I was staying away from X spells because they are not fun to cascade.
Yeah, that's a good point. Never mind. You shouldn't.
Because I took Genesis Wave out.
Yeah, ignore what I just said. Because Maelstrom Wanderer being the double cascading commander card. Syncopate takes out Sorin. If that Sorin had landed, that would have been a very, very good card. Also interesting that Mitch cast it post-combat.
I didn't notice that.
He is a big fan of the emblem. He may have noticed that, though. Yeah. Syncopate. So, Adam obviously telegraphing Restoration Angel here as he played the untapped. So that's good. He's going to... he has a Snapcaster in his hand. He does not have 2 blue sources, so he cannot syncopate that.
That is, yeah.
Well, blue is the splash color in his deck, if anything. He's basically a green-white deck playing blue card.
No Restoration Angel.
I do for the gentleman in the chat who's asking, or lady or gentleman, I should say, asking about the Epic Experiment. I do have the deck list for that burn heavy version of Epic Experiment. So if you're interested in that, send me a note there on Facebook or Twitter, and I will get that to you. Vault of the Archangel, very good. Like I said, I think that's the most important card in this deck. It just changes the math so much. It makes all of your tokens a removal spell. So what does he have in his hand? He has a Restoration Angel and a Snapcaster. Gets in for... I was about to ask what happened to the Angels, but at some point I guess I missed a Supreme Verdict. Is that what happened?
Yeah, something wiped the board.
Where was I at? What was happening?
You were talking about the epic experiment.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it was epic. That GD Silverheart getting in there every time. And all of a sudden the life totals are nearly square. I don't think the life totals are correct.
That's a,
Because Adam is not updating the thing. Someone was poking at it from off the screen, so I don't know who it is. So is that intangible virtue? Intangible virtue is very good in this instance. We talked about this many times before. Intangible virtue, the Anthem effect is obviously very good, but the fact that you can get in incremental damage with your flyers and not have to sacrifice the crackback is almost more important. So you can swing in here for 4 and still...
threaten to block with the Vault of the Archangel activation.
Yes, exactly. I do not know how I feel about that. So, we'll see what... so he's decided to activate the lifelink during his attack. So we'll see what happens on the crackback here. Land off the top. Another one of my biggest pet peeves in Magic, drawing your land and just playing it without ever putting it in your hand. It's a game of partial information, folks. Just shuffle it up a couple times and trick them. Like, let them think you drew the nuts. Right, Ian? You know.
Just sit there and stare at it for about 30 seconds.
I draw Basic Forest.
What if it's a whiteboard?
I slam it on the table.
What if it's a whiteboarded 8th edition Basic Forest? I think we have a life total discrepancy there.
Of course,
Looks like Mitch is just taking all of it. 8 and 7, 15 drops him all the way down to 4. He must feel like he's going to win on the next turn. Or he's just getting in some value before he naturalize on the enchantment. When is he doing this? I would have done that before attacks, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because then if you... Well, I don't know. I don't really know if it matters. He did take the 2 damage, right? So it's down to 6. So, what kind of follow-up does Mitch have? As once again, our clock, we're very close to...
Yeah.
Oh! Pretty interesting. We see Supreme Verdict out of... and then a follow-up. That's pretty good. We see Supreme Verdict out of Mitch, followed up by Supreme Verdict, followed up by front half of Lingering Souls. I imagine he'd been setting that turn up expecting that he would have the Intangible Virtue out.
Yeah.
Which he'd be in a lot, because he would win this turn, because he would have got 2 more in and then 4.
I think I am being tucked into Supreme Verdict in a Lingering Souls deck. You do recover quick.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier, and I think you're exactly right. I think I underestimated how, it's not like it's a humanist deck. You're not 3 for 1ing yourself. You're really just at worst 2 for 1ing yourself, because you get 4 bodies out of Lingering Souls. Is this Thragtusk here? Oh my goodness. You have to chump, right? You just die if you don't. He's been getting a lot of work out of those Wolf Ear Silverhearts. I'm rooting for Mitch here so he can get a game 3. He's had the answer every game so far, so he's going to take out the Silverheart. Flashback his Lingering Soul. Get in for 1. I don't know what the last card in his hand is, but he has tapped all of his colored mana. Adam have 2 cards in hand? I see a white card and is it Avacyn's Pilgrim? So he's offering the trade here. Interesting block there. oh, you have to block because of the township.
Yeah.
Completely forgot that. So Mitch, much better player than I am, because I would have just punted right there. Not to use. I do try to avoid magic jargon on the broadcast as much as I can, but.
That one seemed appropriate.
Mm-hmm. So are we at Mitchell's turn here? His land is untapped.
Yeah.
So what's going on with that token there? He just passes back. Adam helps him out. So I imagine that's he either has a Midnight Haunting in his hand or he's just dead. I don't think it matters now, right? No, that's it.
Trample.
That's unfortunate. Mitchell's very close there to getting that game. And again, I don't know if we are close enough. I think we're too close to the end of the round to go try and find another match for you. So unfortunately, we'll have another 10 minutes to kill. We can always talk to Adam Vickers about his deck. There's nothing better in this life than Adam Vickers talking about anything. Let's get Adam Vickers in here and just have him talk about Henry Rollins. He met Henry Rollins a couple weeks ago.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Henry Rollins was here during a concert. Not even a concert. Henry Rollins does that spoken word stuff now, which is not my bag. But
Yeah, I believe he
the
was...
man was in Black Flag, so he could do what he got to... Yeah. So for those of you who just joined us, or those of you curious what's going on here, so we just saw Adam Vickers emerge triumphant 2-0 over Mitch Estep. He will move on to the top 8 of this 5-round Friday Night Magic broadcast. Let's, for those of you who missed it earlier, here's a funny worm token for a mono worm. Get that in there. I'll post that on the Facebook. You want to see some other funny stuff on the Facebook? You want to see a grown-ass man dressed like a Twinkie for Halloween last week? Facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic. I mean, I mentioned it a million times, but I actually spend a certain amount of time each day trying to make sure there's something of value on that site. So if you want to help us out, you don't have to give us any money. You don't have to do anything too difficult. Just go to Facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic and check us out there. More importantly, just run through a few quick things here. I want to thank the Lost Legion Games and Comics for letting us host our stream every week. You can visit their website at lostlegiongames.com. We stream here every Friday at 6:30 Eastern for Friday Night Magic, but make sure you go to twitch.tv/ZachSellsMagic and follow us if you're watching us in the stream right now. If you could click on that little gear button right below the video and click follow, we'd appreciate it. Not only does it help our subscription numbers, but they will send you an email notification anytime our stream goes live. So if we get on a wild hair, do a cube draft on a Tuesday, or have a midweek Return to Ravnica draft on Wednesday, or start streaming our Wednesday Legacy events, you will know about it first and foremost.
The notifications are very handy.
It's we were talking about that earlier. It's a service that we use ourselves, so I would not lead you astray. And like I've said multiple times before, but I'll say it again because it's the one thing that helps to self-validate and make me feel good about myself. What you can do for us to help us spread the word about the stream is to follow us on various forms of social media. If you go to youtube.com/ZachSellsMagic,
Popular video website.
It is a popular. If you've not heard of YouTube, I would check it out. I've got some very interesting videos on there.
It's
I was trying to think what I've been watching recently. I've been watching a lot of win and fail compilations. That's what I've been. I go through cycles, but that's what I've been watching today. A lot of them. I'm not real proud of that one. That's kind of a.
A couple weeks ago, I spent a significant portion of a day just watching newscaster flubs. That's fun.
I did watch that.
You can find that there.
But anyway, when you're done watching Gangnam Style parody videos or the latest Taylor Swift single, just go to youtube.com/ZachSellsMagic. Everything we have ever recorded is on that website. That includes, but is not limited to, a cube draft, a Return to Ravnica release draft featuring hand cam. We watch Max Turner make his picks. That actually got a ton of interest. People love to watch drafts.
Yeah.
So I wish we could do that again, but again, no one drafts around here, so that's very fun.
But if that's I would
like to
put
do
that
that
on a
again.
hot list for things to do.
I want to do that again, even if it's just inviting 7 people over to my house.
I want
I have a casino-style poker table. We can sit around the racetrack and do it. Cube draft, real draft. Obviously, all of our Friday Night Magics. This, I believe, is our 10th week, I think.
Seems about right. Yeah.
That we've done this. And then also, we did West Virginia State Tournament. I think we were the only state tournament that streamed live, which is not saying much, but I mean, it's still neat
Yeah.
to have that. So if you want to watch the entire state tournament, you can do that. 7 rounds plus a top 8. Watch. I won't tell you who won. It was exciting. You can see who won for yourself. And then Star City Game Invitational Qualifier from Charcon Gaming Convention a couple weeks ago. Go to Twitter. Round 2, we posted a giveaway. So if you follow me on there and retweet that post, you can win your own playset of rock paper scissors cards. You see them upside down right there in the middle of the feature. You too can start your game like a baller. Just follow me at ZachSalesMagic on Twitter. I mentioned it before. Most importantly, I kid you not. If you want to, if you enjoy what you're seeing and you have a few seconds, don't mind taking the time. Go to facebook.com/ZachSalesMagic. Like our page. Check out some of the content. We would appreciate it. It helps us spread our information better than anything else. And finally, most of you, if you're watching live right now on Twitch, you obviously know where the stream is. But for those of you watching on YouTube after the fact, twitch.tv/ZachSalesMagic. That's where you can watch this stream live and in person I guess not in person, that's physically impossible, but live every Friday night, 6:30 Eastern, give or take. That's when we start this. I'll just bring that up so you know exactly if you want to. I'm just going to tell you right now, quit rolling dice, quit flipping coins. That's, I mean, what is this? Is it 1940s? I mean, come on.
My grandpa flipped coins.
Exactly. Don't be like Ian's pep. Start your games the real way with rock, paper, scissors. You can be like internet celebrity Jay Boosh, who won tonight's giveaway. We have...
Do you still have the data on who is winning?
Oh, yeah. For the first 3 or 4 weeks, I kept track of the rock, paper, scissors tally, and then after about 3 weeks, it became very tedious, and I quit. As you've seen tonight, you've seen how the process goes on here. As I'll switch back to the studio cam so you can see these floating heads that are talking. I love that everyone does that. When I switch back to everyone sits up straight. Hello, my name is Zachary Evans. I'm joined by Ian Nolte and Joseph Messer. We are here commentating. But what I was talking about is that what was I talking about?
Rock, paper, scissors data.
Oh yeah, as you can see, like there's a lot going on here. It's not like this is some kind of like, it's not like I'm running the Emmys here. It's not, or the Oscars. It's not like I have like a 14 camera shooting live. You know, it's not like go fade to black, go to 1. But there is a lot of behind the scenes kind of mechanical thing. So it just became that tally just became like one more thing that I had to keep doing on a day-to-day basis. So I've quit. So anyway,
sorry world.
Sorry about that. I've mentioned it before. I will mention it again. We have a couple new things going on. We have the new graphics package. You may have seen the live totals and stuff on the first screen. That's new. If you want to let us know what you think about that, I would love to hear your feedback. If you have any other comments, questions, complaints, or whatnot about the stream in general, audio, video quality, content, dead time, blah, 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 whatever, I would love to hear it. You can just send me, you can just go on Facebook and just call me names. I don't care. I take it as a compliment because you took the time. I annoyed you so much that you felt the need to come and mention it. But let's talk about side projects. Joseph, you want to talk about your podcast?
Yeah, I mean, anybody watching probably doesn't know, but for a year now I've had a podcast. It's called the Geekdom Podcast. It's a pop culture podcast. And,
also pulp culture.
Yeah, pulp culture too. Yeah.
Double dips.
But we've been running for about a year now. We took part of the summer off to try to get a website and stuff up and running. That didn't work so well. But
do you work on it with only one person?
Huh?
Do you work on it with more people?
No.
Oh,
just you?
Just me.
When you say we, you mean just you?
Yeah.
I do that a lot too. I'm like, thanks for watching the stream. We really appreciate it. But it's just me. It's just me and my house and my dogs. My dogs appreciate it.
But,
my dogs are really big. We have a running joke at my house that my pug plays a blue-green tempo strategy. That's her archetype of choice. Anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, that's fine. We are available on iTunes as the Geekdom Podcast, and we have a WordPress page for now. The official website isn't up yet.
You know, that's a very interesting. You should mention that. We will have information about Joseph's podcast on our Facebook page, so check us out after the fact for that as well. I do own the rights to ZachSellsMagic.com. It only costs like $12 to register. I've had it for 2 years. At some point, I should get off my lazy behind and concentrate all this stuff. So instead of telling people, go here, go there, go wherever, just go to ZachSellsMagic.com. It's still there. There's a page. It redirects to my whatever. I also have a Tumblr now. I don't know what a Tumblr is, but I have it. I have a Reddit. I have a Tumblr.
I don't think you have a Reddit. Well, you Reddit account.
I have a Reddit account.
Yeah.
I don't understand. If I understood Reddit better, I need to get Michael Taylor in here. He's the Reddit master.
I'm trying to subscribe to your podcast right this second.
And
but I can't
it being complicated, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, we are talking, and we are getting some interest in the chat about, do we have a new Elf Dice poster? No, that is in fact that's Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson from the Avengers. For some reason, the shop received a bunch of cardboard cutouts within the day, so I jammed that in here because I thought it'd be funny. But then it doesn't really fit. So.
The Geekdom, right?
So Joseph Messer's podcast called The Geekdom. We'll have more information about that on a post. I think we're going to start doing a wrap-up post of all the things we talk about on the stream on our Facebook page. So definitely check that out. So what are we talking about? Just general pop culture things and
yeah, for
whatever's
the most
going
part, we kind of break it down. A lot of movie news,
okay.
Some comic book news, video game news. We touch on Magic occasionally, mostly around release time for new sets.
Sure.
And major announcements. Last week we talked a little bit about Modern Masters, or what I thought my implications for that set would be. Like we talked about earlier, a lot of people have been talking about, it's going to ruin card values and stuff like that, but yeah, Turbo's $100 now, and it might only be $60 afterwards, but if it helps grow the format, then that's a positive.
Right.
We don't want it to turn into Legacy. Legacy, it's a fun format for some people. I'm bad at it. But
I like it. It's the only format where you can have turn 2 Emrakul, so I'm very excited about it. I think it's going to take off, guys. You heard it here first. I think this Legacy thing is really going to catch on with the kids.
If only Star City had a series where they did it on Sundays,
Time wasn't my day. You couldn't play Legacy. They called it Type 1.5. So we're getting right down close to the end of the round, but I do want to stop and mention, Ian, do you have, I'm not sure how you feel about me telling people, I don't think you really care, but you are somewhat proficient regional stand-up comedian.
Nah.
Do you have any, you don't have like a website or anything like that. Is there videos on YouTube? There are some.
Yeah, but...
I'm going to link to at least one funny video on YouTube.
They're early, I don't know.
Maybe not. You may not want me to. But if you're in the local area...
If there are videos of me doing stand-up on YouTube, I didn't put them up.
Right.
I'll just say that.
There are some promotional ones for some
various
areas.
people filmed.
But if you are local, most of these people are local, and you want to go see some fine comedy. Was it the Wednesday night show, Black Sheep Burritos?
Wednesday night at Black Sheep Burritos in Huntington. If you want to go see stand-up comedy, they have an open mic there every Wednesday. Oh, and you can even do stand-up if you want to.
I believe another one of our one of the other players at the shop down in Huntington, he tried last week.
Yeah, I missed him, and yeah.
So if you're regional to the Huntington metro area, Wednesday nights at Black Sheep Burritos, stand-up comedy night. Formerly the Java Joint, was that what it was called?
Yeah.
So if you're familiar, right there on the corner of Marshall's campus. So I thought I'd give you a little bit of love there. You got I've got this little show from a broom closet about magic cards, just as his podcast. He's a stand-up comedian. Very funny jokes about. Let me tell people about what some I think of your funnier topics are. I'm not going to use your jokes, but he has a very interesting piece about Billy Joel and his ex-wife, who we happen to go to school with.
We did.
It's absurd that I
fact.
sat next to Billy Joel's. Billy Joel's ex-wife has been in my house before.
If you ever think that the universe makes any sense, it doesn't. It is random and meaningless occurrences.
This is a funny kind of little thing, but Billy Joel's former wife was the girl that my mom was always like, oh, she's a nice girl. You can always tell her she's the one like, why aren't you going out with her? She's a nice girl. No, she's going to marry the piano man.
She's saving herself for Joel.
So, but you got that. You also have a very interesting bit about the the ratio of how would you describe it about your Looney Tunes characters?
Well.
Is basically how you can relate someone's social status by the quantity of Looney Tune characters appearing on their clothing. It's fairly convoluted. You also have a good bit about Rick James.
Mm-hmm. Rick James.
All very
very relevant.
Very topical. Everything very topical. Oh, we were talking earlier. I remember now. This is way off topic, but we were talking about how embarrassing we were when we were kids and things like that. We were talking about what we used to wear and things like that. Do you remember, Ian? You remember? We've been friends since
yeah.
we were like 11 years old, 12 years old. There's two things. When I was in middle school, I still wore. My mom does not have it, but I wore this gray sweatshirt, not even a hoodie, just a gray sweatshirt, and it had on it a picture of a Labrador dog in like a hunting environment. There's like
I remember that T-shirt you did used to wear.
every week I used to wear that, just a big ass dog right on the front of my thing. It was the most embarrassing. But then up until my sophomore year of high school, I wore this T-shirt that my grandmother had bought for me. God rest her soul. She was just buying me something she thought was fun. I don't know why I wear it. It was a big T-shirt and had Daffy Duck, Bugs Bunny, Tasmanian Devil on it. And they were all wearing like oversized, colorful clothes, and it just said the Grunge Crew. And I wore that until I was 14 and a half years old. There was a very conscious day one day when I was in school where I just looked at myself and I was like, what the hell am I wearing? And then the next day I showed up where like, I don't know, when I bought a pair of Airwalks and started wearing like normal clothes. And I was just like, what the hell happened to me?
Oh, man.
Oh, good times.
We've got to get Bugs in on this grunge trend.
Here, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you want to see self-deprecating humor, you want to see something cool. Ian, you know what I'm talking about when I say the lasers picture. See, that's the response that someone who's in the know knows about. I will post on our Facebook page the infamous laser. All I'm going to say is laser background school picture, 4th grade. You're going to want to see it, so I don't mind sharing that. So feel free to check that out on our Facebook page after the fact.
You got something interesting going on in your chat.
Hey, so somebody is talking about they just donated to our page. Is that real?
Yeah.
So some people, we were talking about this earlier in the night. We have set up a donation page because last week several people actually asked if they could contribute like that. And while that's not my main goal with this, I do appreciate it. So we've had 3 separate contributors, 2 $10 donations and a $1 donation, which I think is just, I'll be honest with you, that's pretty crazy to me. And the first one that I do want to thank by name, his name is Christian. If you're watching or you see this after the fact and you would like me to list your full name or contact information or anything, I'll gladly do that. But Christian from Norway, of all places. Norway, the home of Troll Hunter the movie. Have you seen that?
I watched it on Tuesday.
You did? Yeah. It's very good. It's better than you think it's going to be.
I kicked you.
I need to write down.
Also, as I learned from Troll Hunter the movie, rural Norway, beautiful.
Yeah, Norway has got to be the most gorgeous place in the world. And if it was not one of the most expensive countries in the world to live and visit, I would go there in a heartbeat. But what else do I need to talk about? I'm writing down things I need to make sure it's in the Facebook link after we're done. Troll Hunter, the movie, they put a link to laser picture, Geekdom podcast,
your most
YouTube stand-up. I'm going to do there's one that I think Aaron Reborn, somebody put up. YouTube, stand-up, link to information about Modern Masters we talked about in detail. Anything else we talked about?
No.
But anyway, if you do want to contribute, by no means am I asking for you to. I mean, I appreciate all the money that we would spend is just recouping all the money that I've already spent on equipment. So it's not like we're actually profiting. We're just digging our way back out of the... I do this for fun anyway, but if you do want to help contribute, I by all means, I'd appreciate it. The bigger this gets, the more that we can offer back. But there is a chip-in information page at the bottom of the Twitch feed. So if you're watching on YouTube, go to twitch.tv/ZachSellsMagic. Even if we aren't broadcasting, below the video window, there will be a chip-in. What would you call that? A chip-in widget. You just click on that and you can donate via PayPal. You don't have to have a PayPal account. You can just pay with your credit or debit card as a guest. Every dollar adds up. If I get 250 people to donate $1, we're net even on this project. So we appreciate that. The internet is agreeing with you about approving of the Troll Hunter. We're also asking if I wore parachute pants. I did wear hammer pants in the 6th grade. Stopped at,
Yes. I do not recall this.
Well, we really started hanging out until like 7th grade or something. It's the door. Something is going on. They're milling about there. I think we're getting ready for the top 8. So come right back. I know Megan Berger's going to be in there playing Golgari Good Stuff. I know Brett Rose playing Esper Tokens is in there playing. Well, he's playing Esper Tokens. He also went undefeated. I know we're going to see who just won, Adam Vickers, and then we'll see who the other 7 competitors are shortly. So stay tuned. Top 8 action coming up. Maybe.